Hello, and welcome to my channel. Today we are going to dive into The Night of Nanny Helen, a story that follows the brave young Kyle as he faces off against a deceptive witch, Helen, who is not as sweet as she appears. When Kyle's parents, Carl and Kelly, decide to take a much-needed night out, they entrust their son to Helen, the seemingly kind old neighbor. Little do they know, Helen's intentions are dark and dangerous, as she seeks to steal Kyle's soul to preserve her youth. And right before we get started, be sure to hit the subscribe button so I can continue bringing you these stories. Now, without wasting any more time, let's dive right into it. Once upon a time in a cozy little town, there lived a happy family, Carl, Kelly, and their son Kyle, who was 9 years old. Carl and Kelly loved their son so much that they had never gone on a date alone since he was born. They did everything together as a family. But one day, Carl thought it was time to take Kelly out, just the two of them, like in the old days. Kelly was nervous about leaving Kyle with someone they didn't know. Carl reassured her, saying,
"Lots of families use babysitters, Kelly. Kyle will be fine."
They didn't have family nearby to help, so Carl put up a post on social media looking for a babysitter. They got a few responses, but none seemed right to Kelly. Just as they were wondering what to do, there was a gentle knock at the door. Standing there was a sweet old lady named Helen, who told them she lived nearby.
"I've seen you have a child, and I used to watch over my own grandkids. Now that they're grown, I help out in the neighborhood,"
she explained with a warm smile. Carl and Kelly thought Helen was perfect. It was as if she appeared just when they needed her, and she didn't even use social media. When Kyle met Helen, he felt unsure. Something about her made him feel uneasy, but his parents were convinced she was a kind and caring babysitter. Finally, the night came for Carl and Kelly's date. They waved goodbye, leaving Kyle in Helen's care. No sooner had the car disappeared down the road than Helen's sweet demeanor vanished. Her eyes gleamed with a wicked light, and a sly grin spread across her face.
"You're all mine now, little boy,"
she cackled, transforming into an evil witch right before Kyle's eyes. Her mission was dark and dreadful. She stole the souls of children to keep herself young and beautiful. Kyle was terrified. He ran, hiding anywhere he could in the house as Helen chased after him, her laughter echoing through the halls. Kyle felt his heart pounding in his chest, but he knew he had to be brave. He remembered all the stories of heroes and monsters he had read about. It was his turn to be the hero. Determined, Kyle started setting traps around the house. He used his toys, books, and even some kitchen supplies. As Helen pursued him, she fell into his traps one by one, growing angrier and more careless with each mistake. Finally, using his wits and courage, Kyle managed to lock Helen in a closet. He called the police and waited, heart still racing, for his parents to return. When Carl and Kelly arrived, they were met with flashing lights and worried faces. Firemen, police officers, and paramedics swarmed around their home. They rushed to Kyle, hugging him tight, relieved and shocked. "What happened to Helen?" they asked. Kyle looked up at them, a brave smile on his face, and said,
"Don't worry, she won't bother us or anyone ever again."
From that night on, the legend of Kyle's bravery spread throughout the town, and while Carl and Kelly never forgot the night of terror, they were forever proud of their brave son who had saved other innocent children from losing their souls from the evil Nanny Helen. So there you have it, parents. Be careful whom you let babysit your kids, because looks can be deceiving, even from a nice old lady who lives down the street. It was a good thing for Carl and Kelly their brave little boy Kyle was able to come out of this safe. But of course, that's not always the story. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to subscribe and drop a like to help support our channel. Until then, see you on the next one.